Hey guys, yesterday in class, we heard the story of our two mice, Ash and Snowball, and we modeled how their second generation could be all one color and the third generation would be mostly gray and a little bit of white. We modeled all that to try to figure out how that works. Today, we're going to do a slightly different model to understand, to kind of further understand why that's happening. Um, so to start, let's think about some pit bulls. Pit bull noses, and you can see these two here, can be black or red, depending on their genes. And so there is a pit bull puppy there at the bottom. I'll move myself out of the way. The pit bull puppy has genes B and R, and its nose is black. Okay, so the puppy's dad has a red nose. Which genes for nose color do you think dad has? And someone tell me, why isn't the puppy's nose a mix of black and white? Oh, sorry, not black and white, black and red. A mix of red and black instead of just what it is, which is only black. Go ahead and pause and answer those questions and we'll keep going. Okay, after our sciences of the day today, we have a little bit of new vocabulary. In our breakout rooms, we're going to be reviewing some of the work from yesterday. And then we have our new gene combo activity I'll walk you through for the independent work. This is Mary Claire King. She is a professor of genetics at UW, which is super cool because we're learning about genetics. When she was in high school, a friend of hers died of cancer, and that was the reason that she got into wanting to learn more about how diseases spread. And that's basically what she does now. She's kind of known for a few different things. She's known for determining how close chimpanzees and humans are genetically. There's some one way to measure is that chimps and humans are 99% similar genetically, which is kind of crazy. She also discovered certain genes that cause or at least increase your chances for breast cancer, which is a big deal for a lot of people. I know my grandmother died of breast cancer when I was in seventh grade, actually. So there you go. And lastly, she's been big on using DNA to help identify missing people and try to find them and bring them home, which has made a big difference for a lot of people. So Dr. Mary Claire King here. All right. Oh, and because of all of the work she did, every time I Google somebody and I see them getting a medal from Obama, I got to include that in the Sciences of the Day slideshow. So she has won a medal. I don't remember the name of the medal, but it's like the one that the president gives to scientists for great achievement. So for all of her achievement in genetics over the years, she got a medal for the president, the old president. All right. So today, the new vocab for the day is allele. Allele. That's how you say this word. It's not allele, not allele. Allele. Only two syllables. It rhymes with Jaleel, if you know anybody whose name is Jaleel. Um, an allele is just a version of a gene. So we know that our genes give us our traits, but different genes can give us different results for the same trait. So, for example, we have eye color genes, but I have blue eyes, and you might have brown or green or different or hazel or some other color eyes. And so we all have eye color genes, but maybe my alleles, my version of those, are blue alleles, and you might have brown color alleles, or you actually might have one of each. We'll talk more about that. So, we're going to talk about how to write alleles. So in today's Do Now, we said that an R gene is a gene for a red nose, and a B gene codes for a black nose. But there's a different way actually scientists write it. And so I'm going to introduce that to you today. We're going to use this way all through the rest of this school year. When you're in high school, you'll do it this way. When you're in college, you'll do it this way. It's the way that scientists actually talk about genes. What we do is we don't use B and R to talk about the same gene because those are two different letters. We use the same letter. And we might make one capital and one lowercase. So in this case, since we're talking about nose color, instead of B and R, we're going to use big N and little n, capital N and lowercase n, just like it says here. So here it says the capital N means that that allele is something called dominant, and the lowercase n is called recessive or hidden. So I want you guys to think about those words, and part of your independent work today is tell me, what do you think dominant and recessive mean? So in this case, let's talk about these dogs. The dad would have two little N's. Little N's would be the red nose genes. The big N's would be the black nose genes. The puppy gets a big N from mom and a little N from dad because mom only has two and she's got to give one. Dad only has these two little ones. He's got to give one. So he must have gotten the big N from mom and the little N from dad. Further, because it's a big N and we call it dominant, and it's dominant because as long as the puppy has one big N, he's got a black nose. So this cute little pup right here gets a big N, he's going to have a black nose. Doesn't matter that dad has a red nose. In fact, you would have to have two little n genes, alleles, two little n alleles, in order to have a red nose. If you have a big N and a little n, your nose is black, just like if you have two big N's. Okay, so in breakout rooms today, students are going back and trying to do this activity. Remember back to yesterday, pick the colors you remember. This is not, we actually now have an answer to this, so there is now a right answer. And now you're going to use alleles. A big F allele for fur, that's gray. It's a dominant F for gray fur, and a little f for white fur. Instead of before we used W's and G's, now we're going to use F's for dominant and recessive fur. Okay. And then these questions real quick, I'll just tell you what they are. Genes have two. Mice have two genes for fur colors because they have one from their mom and one from their dad. It's two. If a mouse is gray, it could have two big F's, or it could have a big F and a little f. If a mouse is white, it must have two little f genes. All the mice in the second generation here are gray because they all got at least one dominant F allele from Ash. They all have a big F and a little f because they all got a big F from Ash and a little f from Snowball. So each of them have a big F and a little f, so they're all the same color. But in the third generation, there is a white again because now, and I can write this in here. Let's see, how do I do that? Where's my, can I not do that? I thought I could write on it. Okay, pointer, no. Oh, because I'm not on Zoom. I was thinking I could write on it because I'm on Zoom. Maybe I'll do it this way real fast. Exit the exit. Okay, so so we just said that these two, this is big F, big F, big F, big F. Snowball's got to be little f, little f. So all of these babies must be big F, little f, which means that there is a chance, if these two are your parents, and there is a chance that they each give you a little f. If that's the case, then this baby will be white. So the question here was, why are there white mice in the third generation? Because now there's another chance that they could both have a little f alleles, which would make you white. There's also a chance that you have two big F's, or a big F and a little f, in which case you would not be white, you would be gray. Okay, let's keep it moving. Today, let me present this again. Today, we're going to look and see why it's a quarter, 1/4 of these babies are white, of offspring and or Smokey and Cloud's offspring. Cloud and Smokey both have, we just talked about, one big F and one little f for fur color. So we'll say that this is their genotype. These are the genes they have, a big F and a little f. Today we're going to flip coins. Coins have two sides to them. You can see there's an American penny. Coins have two sides. If you flip a coin, it's a 50% chance that it lands on heads, which is half the time. The fraction is a half. It's a half a chance. Since Cloud has a big F and a little f, it is random which gene Clouds give to its baby. Every time a mom or a dad produce sperm or egg, there's a 50% chance that those genes 50% chance of each gene getting in there. It's completely random. So I got a gene for eye color from my mom, a gene for eye color from my dad, and every time I have a baby, it is which I've only had two, but there's a 50% chance that I give the mom, the one I got from my mom, 50% I give the one from my dad. It's always a 50. It's equal. It's random. So you can actually model this randomness by flipping a coin because that's random too. And there's two possibilities. It could be a big F or a little F, and for Cloud and Smoky. So you're going to use the worksheet that's on the next slide. Find a coin. If you like flipping coin, find a coin. Okay. Also, if you don't have a coin, on the next slide is a little online coin flipper if you want to use that. If you want to do this with somebody, do it with somebody. Find somebody else, or else since you missed live class, you might have to do this by yourself. Flip a coin, and the coin is going to tell you heads or tails which allele you're passing on to the offspring. You're going to put it in the data table. If your coin lands on heads, write F. If your coin lands on tails, write little f. And then you're going to put them together, big F, little f, to determine the fur color. Let me show you how that works, okay? So this is your independent work. You're going to fill out this table with some questions and your exit ticket. Okay, let me get out of full screen again, and I can show you how to do this. Oh, by the way, down here in the bottom, remind you of if you have these genes, big F, little f, big F, you have gray fur. The only way to get white fur is little f, little f. So. I don't have a coin in front of me, so I'm going to click here and go to Google's coin flipper. And I'll go ahead and just here we go. So now you're recording over here. So this is just like a Google random coin thing. I can click again, and I get heads, flip again, and I get tails. Okay, so let's go back to our work. I'll bring the camera back. It takes me a few clicks to do that, but I can do it. So I had a heads, and then I got a tails. Okay, we're back. So from Cloud, I got a heads. A heads is a big F. From Smoky, I got a tails. A tails is a little f. Remember, every time I flip a coin, I'm modeling which allele, big F or little f, do I get from a parent, because there's two. There's a big F and a little f, and it's random, just like flipping a coin. So I got a big F from mom. I got a little f from dad. You put them together. I got big F, little f. You see, I just put them together. And if I have big F, little f, let me check. I forget. Big F, little f. Oh, is gray. Big F, little f means that baby is gray. I do it again. Let's say I got heads and heads. Okay, then I got heads, heads. Okay, that baby is gray. I'll do it again. What if I got tails and tails? Okay, I got little f, little. Then that baby is actually white. You got two little f's and you have a white offspring. So your job is to do this 20 times. Flip the coin. If you have to do it by yourself, then you got to flip a coin 40 times. Oh my gosh, you'll be okay. Put them together and do the offspring's color all the way through. Then I want to know, what is the percent chance that an offspring inherits from Cloud a big F or a little f? How many total gray and white offspring did you have? What does a capital F mean? What does a lowercase f mean? Why were there more of one color than another? Ooh, that's a good question. Answer those questions, and then on your exit ticket, I want to know, what does dominant mean? What does recessive mean? How do we know that in mice, gray fur is dominant and white fur is recessive? That's a hard question. Give it a shot. We'll talk more about these on Monday. All right. Thank you, guys. Turn